Hello to all you yids out there. This is the Heart Now Here Spurs Fans Podcast, a podcast from a bunch of yids to all you yids around the world. And we said last week, it looks like we may have turned a corner and we will take a pod after the two games with United and Newcastle because it will give us a better understanding of where we are and how we're doing. I'd like to think we wouldn't have known, but to this day, we didn't think that there would be the massive news that came this morning. If you're watching us live, we're across all our platforms. If you're listening to us, we're recording this on Wednesday night. And it is, of course, the big news that Thomas Frank is now gone. He is no longer part of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. He's not the manager. And that is about 11 days before what is a monumental game against Arsenal. All the gang's all here. Matt is joining us a bit later, but we've got Kevin, TJ. How you doing, boys? You all right?
I'm glad to be back, mate. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, we missed you, mate.
I know I've been off and I've had so much to say and I've been so annoyed that I just didn't fall when I could do the pod. And I'm so glad to come back on this one. And yeah, listen, I can't wait to get stuck into it. So obviously, yeah, I'm raring to go, mate. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's fucking do it.
Well, I mean, look, I think Kev said it earlier on. You almost rip up the script for what we're going to talk about today. It was going to be broken record, I think, because, you know, the two results weren't good. They weren't good in different ways. And the last straw was Newcastle. I will go back, though, to Saturday, Kev, because I always like to have a bit of a positive. And from a fan's point of view, this is what our pod's all about. Your journey, your day out at Old Trafford. Tell us about it. Apart from the football.
Well, apart from the football, it was fucking great. It was positive. It was,
that's what we want to hear.
Yeah, normal rules. Drinking at early doors, having a laugh, taking a piss out of each other on the way up there, stopping for pisses on motorways, getting fined, getting into Old Trafford Cricket Club, drinking.
Hold up.
Yeah, what's the fine?
What did you get fined for?
Do you know what, mate? I've got a really weak bladder on the motorway. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's an age thing or not, but every time I break my seal, every half hour I need to piss on the way up Manchester. So we stopped a few times, but you got to remember it's an early kickoff, so we're trying to get up there really early. And I've just got a bladder of a fucking 8-year-old. And then we had a piss, and half hour later I was like, I need to go again. And then we swung over to this lay-by. And we've all jumped out and had a piss, and there's cars fucking beeping. You know, sometimes you think people are just doing it for a laugh because you've got your Corey out and you're having a piss. The wind's taking the piss left and right and all sorts. No, we realised we was in like a yellow bay on a lay-by where you get fined and there's CCTV cameras. So poor old Lee who drove us up there is probably going to get a fine through the post at some point. And the worst thing about it was 30 seconds later there was a service at the top of the road.
Oh no!
So yeah,
it's like that scene out of American Pie. Kev's having a piss and it's gone over the top into someone's mouth. Like, taste the bubbles.
Plenty of bubbles, mate. Plenty of beers, and yeah, obviously got up there and parked near the Old Trafford cricket ground. Parked in that. And luckily there was a bar open in there as well. So shit weather up there, cold, raining, but you're standing outside because it's the only beer you can get unless you go into the city centre, which can be a bit of a nightmare getting to the ground on trams. So with a cricket club, you ain't that far away from the ground. So yeah, had a few in there and got in the ground, had a couple in there and yeah, sing songs as we do. Great atmosphere in the stadium. I have to admit that. I mean, the away support cannot be questioned this year for every time I've been. Anyway, it's been great and yeah, even when the shit hit the fan with Romero and everything else, and the atmosphere was really still there from everyone. And yeah, it was a good trip, man. We left and we come home straight after as well. So I got home at 6 o'clock to watch the Gladiators with the kids, so it weren't too bad in the end. It was
weren't a full night out then. It didn't go into.
No, it wasn't. No, do you know what? I had to get up. I had a game in Hitchin at fucking 8:30. We had to leave in the morning, so it was a wise thing. But there were rumours it was going to happen, but no, it didn't in the end. So I'm kind of glad I got home. But
I did see some videos of a few of the boys in like a rave in Manchester.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, the plan was we was all going to go to a day rave. and come home at 7 o'clock. But because I had my boy up there, I couldn't get him into it. I did try my best to get him into a day rave at the age of 15, but yeah, they weren't having it. But so a few of them went off to have a day rave and got a late train back to London. So we ended up just getting straight back. So I mean, yeah, it's been quite common this year. Well, maybe not so much for me because every time we've gone away, I haven't seen us lose yet. So I've always come back in quite good spirits. But yeah, obviously I was more to blame for Romero because I actually think the team didn't play too bad that game. It's just we needed 11 men really to compete, and I believe if we had 11 men on the pitch, I believe we definitely would have got something out of that game.
Yeah.
So yeah, really frustrating one in that sense. But as always, and I say it all the time, it's the people that you go with that make these trips, even if the football goes south. So yeah, fair play, well done to the boys for getting up early at 6:30 and getting down there, and big shout out to my mate Lee for driving as well. He didn't have to do that, and also bumped into our mate Shane. I'll give him a shout because he's a big fan of the pod. He comes on as a guest a few times, so it was nice to see him up there and see his boy as well, and both of us bringing our boys to the game. So yeah, really, really good spirits, mate. And we're just a bit upset with the captain not leading by example. That really, I think, cost us the game. But yeah, it's always a great away trip with Tottenham anyway.
Yeah, he didn't help at all because I'd agree with you. I was watching it and I thought it was not doing too bad, to be fair. They had a bit of the lion's share of possession, but we looked threatening when we were forward. Throughout the game, obviously Romero's let us down, but what was the mood in the away end about Frank at that point, Kev?
Do you know what? Nothing, no really anti-Frank stuff. I mean, we'll get on to last night's game. It wasn't that kind of performance where, we were really awful in possession. I actually thought we managed the game for large spells. Even at 1-0 down, I thought we managed the game really well. The Frank thing's always been there. I think it just intensifies when we play really horrific, whether that's in one half of a game or it's in a full match, and then the result goes south. I think it intensifies with Frank. I think sometimes in games when we've given it a go or we contended with 10 men, I think it eases off a bit, but subconsciously it's all still there. We know we needed a change at that point anyway. We know we needed a change since Burnley, so we were just kind of riding the wave. But with the Champions League stuff, I think we all subconsciously thought he might be there for the next couple of months or so, or even into the end of the season. So not so much anti-Frank stuff at Manchester, but obviously at Newcastle, and it obviously went south. But yeah, no Frank thing. I think it was just a bit more of a prouder performance with 10 men. But yeah, like we said, I think Romero got the stick for the United game, and anyone who come out there fucking effing and jeffing was towards Romero.
Yeah, and understandable. He talks a lot. He's got to lead by example in that. But we move on then to last night, TJ, and it was the straw that breaks the camel's back, right? Immediately from kickoff, they looked threatening. Alanga on the right-hand side, pace, crossing the ball in. We looked under pressure from the second the whistle went, right?
Yeah, so do you want me to be honest? I don't think they played that well, Newcastle. I really don't think they were amazing. I didn't look at them.
And that's the problem, isn't it?
I didn't look at Newcastle and think they're a team that can roll teams over. They've struggled away all season, and I felt like they looked like that as well. But we just made it so easy, so fucking bad. It's probably one of the worst performances I've ever seen us have ever last night. It was that bad. We were in possession, we were static. No one was moving. It was insane. There was absolutely no creativity on that pitch whatsoever. I'll be honest with you, outside of Archie Gray and maybe Simons in and that is a push as well. I don't think anyone played well yesterday. No. Anybody. And we just didn't look like we were up for the fight at all. From the kickoff, it was just nothing there. That is the first time I've watched us this season and thought, you know what, that team could get relegated. Yeah. You know me, boys. I haven't been on this pod yet, but I've heard everyone say about us getting relegated and all this, and I think it's a load of bollocks. I just never thought we could, yeah. But after that performance, if that was going to be the continuation, I just don't see where we're going to get goals, let alone win games. And it was just listen, Newcastle, they just did what they had to do. They went through the motions. Literally went through the motions. Like there was nothing special about them, but we just made it all so easy. We just sat back, passed sideways, absolutely no intent of breaking lines. I can't remember that anyone that played a really good forward pass in that game.
No, there was
for the
nothing.
entire 90 minutes.
Nothing.
And yeah, like listen, I thought the first half was basically just shocking, absolutely shocking. Like there was nothing from us at all. And then you go in at half time and you think, right, he's going to give him a bollocking, or someone's got to fucking say something. Someone in that team has got to grab this game and go, let's go. They come out and they're just as bad. For the first 5-10 minutes, it's the same. I think Newcastle were in our box within the first 30 seconds of the second half.
Ugh.
And you're sitting there looking at that, thinking, what are we going to do? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we get the first corner of the game. Bear in mind, they'd had 10 at this point. We get our first corner of the game and we score from that. So it's taken a set piece to get us back into the game. And then we start looking a bit lively. And that's, I think, for maybe 10, 12 minutes max, we looked like we were in the game. After that, it just capitulated. Absolutely capitulated. And that second goal was criminal.
Oh.
The way they passed it through us and then what's his name? Literally walked through like 3 defenders. Just criminal. Like, and this is where we'll get onto it with Frank. But I sit here now and I sit here and say, like I was quite happy with the Frank appointment. Before we got Ange, I actually wanted Frank. But like, if you look at the team where it was last year, at the end of the season last year, yes, Europa League aside, has Frank improved any of those players? If you look at any of those players that played last season, have any of them been improved under Frank?
No.
Do we have an identity under Frank?
An identity under Frank? No, we didn't. I didn't know what we were trying to do, whether it was press, whether it was to sit deep. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, and I just don't see an identity under him. And yeah,
I think that's why he's gone. That's why he's gone, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's why he's ended up going, right? But we'll get onto the Frank thing and we'll talk about it. I mean, it's not just him. Like, we can't just sit here and like he's the front man, he's the face of the show. He's always going to get the bullet. But we'll get onto it. But there's more that needs to be had. But in terms of that game yesterday, it just wasn't good enough in any aspect. There's nothing I saw. And the fact, look how many empty seats there were as well, Lee.
Oh, massive.
Look how many. One of them was mine, by the way. I had a ticket and I deliberately didn't sell it and I didn't go.
Oh, you didn't go.
That's my prerogative, not to go.
Yeah.
You mean you couldn't sell it?
Yeah, I couldn't sell it.
Did you go, Kev?
That's more like it.
Kev, did you go?
He didn't go either.
No, TJ sold my tickets for me.
Sold his one, couldn't sell mine. All jokes aside, that in itself, Tuesday night game against Newcastle, for some reason, that's a Category A. Why is Newcastle a Category A game? The cheapest tickets were 60-odd quid.
Do you know what? I can only think it's because they're in the Champions League. It's the only.
That's all where
they finished. But like West Ham should fuck West Ham anyway. But West Ham should be Category A over Newcastle. More fans care about that game than they do about Newcastle, especially midweek. The ticketing system needs to think about how it's worked out because you can't classify a midweek game against a team from the opposite end of the country as Category A. I don't care how good they are. That's just not how it works.
This is the thing. It's funny, you say they've got to sort that out. This is it now. They've got to sort a lot out because he is gone. And from my point of view, I don't think he's a bad man. I said it on our Insta earlier. I don't think he's a bad man. I don't even think he's that bad of a manager. I just think he's a manager who manages teams where expectations are very low and he can sort of just grind out results and keep them up like he did with Brentford. He didn't set the world alight with Brentford. He just sort of overachieved by coming ninth once. He didn't do much with them and he had pretty good, resources in terms of Mbeumo, Nordgaard, Ivan Toney, Visser. There was good stuff there. And look, respect to him. He just, the level of expectation for this role and therefore his style, which we didn't see any of, but wasn't really a style that we'd associate with Tottenham and going to look to win games. It was non-existent. And, you know, we've been talking on here for a while. It almost become a broken record, as I said, because you couldn't say anything more. The same results was happening. The same play was happening, which was a shit style. You were just waiting for this to happen. Now it's happened, Kev. As I say, he's gone. But, you know, how long was this in the making? How long ago should this have happened, really?
Oh, I mean, people that have listened to this pod all season will probably tell you that we've been barking about it since November, December time. I think it really the January, the Burnley and West Ham thing was probably the tipping point for us all. I remember saying in January, I thought, you know, I really wanted to judge him because of the injuries that were there. Half of me was kind of thinking, you know, is he a bit restricted in what he can do? And if he wants to play an expansive way, can he not do that because of the injuries? So I give him the benefit of the doubt with the transfer window and thought, you know, if they are going to give him tools to go out and buy better players, we could see a different way of playing. I mean, it's a shoulda, woulda, coulda thing with that because, you know, I look at these players that played last night and I'm looking at some of them with their body language is like, you know, some of it I'm looking like they've given up with him. The negativity around the whole club and the fans, especially being like during a game. Sort of rubs off on the players. But I also looked at them players and I just thought, well, these are the strongest 11 that we can only put out at the moment. Where is the competitive edge to keep your place in that team? If you go out there and decide you want to have a fucking stroll around, then at the moment you're still getting picked for the next game. You know, the club needs you, the manager needs you in that sense. So that kind of demand for, you know, you've got to play for your place kind of went out the window with these injuries as well, which didn't help. But I still think he had to. I'm going to take away the football side of it at the moment, but I'm just going to talk about the man management side. I thought he could have motivated them better to play better in terms of fight, in terms of tracking back, doing certain bits and bobs. I mean, the first 5 minutes, I'm looking at Mickey van der Ven having a go at Jed Spence because Jed Spence is having a go at Vicario. Things like that, you know, there's got to be a bit of a come together in the dressing room, a bit of unity in terms of when you get on the pitch. I just want you to fight. The football is going to be kind of taken away a bit because of the injuries. I just want you to go out and fight, and that wasn't there clearly. And in terms of the football, I mean, it's a mad 24 hours because like last night, I don't think it's really affected me as much as it did last night, where I went to bed and I was thinking things like, you know, why the fuck do I put myself through it? You know, I'm planning on going to the next Champions League game. Why am I doing that? Why am I travelling away to all these places when the club have feeding me shit like this? I sort of just had a bit of a moment where I come out of my Spurs bubble for a bit and just thought, like, what's the fucking point? You know, how much stress can I not have by not supporting this club? And I went to bed thinking about it. I woke up with the ump thinking about it. And it's the only time this year it's really got to me. And that sort of says to me, if I'm questioning myself like it means things are really, really bad down there. And that's where we were with it. And yeah, like I said, in terms of the football, I mean, look, I summed it up to my missus last night, with the way we played football last night. Yes, there's no identity, there's no creativity, there's no patterns, there's no style, there's no fight. But I watched them players on the football last night, and this is how I sort of compared it to. I compared it to like when you go and have a game of pool snooker in a pub, and you're not very fucking good. But if you're a good pool snooker player, you always look for your next shot. You always look for your next pass. A bit like football.
Yeah.
But if you're a shit pool player, all you're thinking about doing is just trying to hit a fucking red or a yellow and put it in the pocket. You're not thinking. And that's how I watched Spurs play last night. I felt like all we was trying to do was make sure the ball went to a white shirt, wherever the fuck it was. And there was no style with it. And we looked like a team that played in fear last night. And that was the most troubling thing. And it was probably last night where I sort of thought to myself, and I've talked about the relegation thing. I know I'm been a bit more different with TJ about it, but last night really solidified it for me where I thought, you know what, I think we're really, really in trouble here if we carry on the way we are. Even though I didn't think Newcastle was going to be an easy game, it was the way we played and lost is what triggered me. And that was the night last night where I thought, yeah, I can actually see ourselves in the Championship if we keep playing like this. Because I don't think we've got the current players and the current manager to fight ourselves out of it. So yeah, woke up fucking feeling like I want to fucking throw myself in front of a fucking train, and then a couple of hours later, I just felt like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. It's made me excited to now Because I tell you what, Lee, I'll tell you, and tell you just the God's honest truth. I was ready to sell my Arsenal tickets because I couldn't go down there and watch us play Arsenal like that. I couldn't do it, and I've never sold at a North London derby. But that was been in my head for the last week or so. And when I heard the news about Frank, I said to myself, I'm now going. I'm now looking forward to my Champions League trip. Whoever is in charge, it is going to be better than what we have just fucking witnessed last night and for the last few months. So it's a massive uplift to everybody in terms of Frank going. But at the same time, I'm very nervous about the people that are pressing the buttons in the club to who they're going to bring in. I think it's because we are at such a pivotal stage of the season now where if you get this wrong, you could really, really fucking suffer. And we are too big to go down. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. We are too big of a football club to go down. But if they don't get this bit right and they give it to, I don't know, some of the names I've heard bandied around today as well, it's been fucking hilarious. I can't believe people are fucking talking about it. I mean, this is where we are now, I think. I think our mental state's gone as supporters.
Yeah.
Because now we're taking Ledley King, we'll take Tim Sherwood, we'll take fucking Jermaine Genius, we'll take fucking Harry Redknapp. It's just like, we can't afford just to go down the nostalgia route just for a quick fix, just to put a cut of smile on people's faces in the crowd. We've got to be logical with it, in my opinion. If there is someone to go out and get now, that isn't Pochettino, because I think we're in desperate need of a proper manager now to get us out of this shit. I don't trust any interims out there that is going to guarantee me that safety of getting out of this shit at the moment. So I'm like, if the Pochettino thing is timed right, then no doubt Spurs will go down that route at some point. But at the moment, if there is a top manager available to go and get now, go and get them. And if you've got to give them a 2-year contract, you've got to do it. Because I just think I don't think we can risk going down with a Harry Redknapp or a Robbie Keane or a fucking Jermaine Defoe as a coach, whoever it is. I just don't think we can risk it. I think the club are going to look at it and think, we need to survive. Them cunts behind the scenes are thinking about it as a business. And that club can't go down for business. Forget what we want. They know that club can't go down. So I think they will look into that and think if there is anyone available with a high caliber, I think they'll go and get them. And I hope they do.
Well, this is the thing. They've got to get it right, as you said. This is not, moving from 10th to 6th or 6th to 4th. This is like, at one point yesterday, half 10, just before half 10, we were 3 points in front of West Ham. They were 1-0 up at United, and United got a 97-minute equaliser. It was that bad. And yeah, I don't think this manager, we can talk about the injuries and whatnot. He didn't have that style of play, as you both said. What I think needs to happen now, and I think what will happen in games like this is results now. Like, I feel that whoever comes in, whether it's an interim, however it may be, they have got to deliver results. I don't think it's about being pretty at this point. I think it's about, if anything, it's about changing the mood of these players. Because like you said, Kev, they don't look like they're up for it. They don't look like they want to play. They look like they're scared. I think that's all come because inside the club, I don't think they backed the manager. I don't think there was a good relationship. Clearly saw that with what happened from as far back as the Chelsea game with Spence and Van der Ven. So at the moment now, what needs to happen is someone needs to rejuvenate these lot and say, look, we just got to go out there and get results. How that happens and who that is, I don't know. Because, I think they are hoping to go down the route of Pochettino, but that ain't going to come until the summer. It's interesting. But, I mean, TJ, when you look at all these aspects, how's your head going? Where's your head thinking what we do right now?
Yeah, so this is like, I'm with Kev in terms of the relief aspect of Frank going. Like, for me, he is one cog in a system of errors. That's how I describe it at the moment. So the manager at the moment wasn't good enough. Like, he wasn't getting a turn out of the players. Tactically, his in-game management wasn't there for me. It just wasn't working with him, right? So he had to go regardless of everything else that's going on. He's got the worst points ratio of the top 6 clubs in the Premier League era. I mean, like, that on itself, we've sacked managers for finishing 5th. You know what I mean? Like, so you need to start putting stuff into context about where we are competing now. My issue is slightly different to Kevin, that I don't feel as relieved about the next step. As in, I am worried about what happens next, and that's my issue. Like, I'm in total agreement with Kev. I think, and I think the reason the trigger was pulled now is not just the result. Is have a look around that stadium last night. It's half empty. That's hitting their pockets. They know that I think that's why, personally, they pulled the trigger last night. Nothing to do with the result. The result was bad. The performance was terrible. It's the fact people are like, we're not going to go, mate. We're just not going to come anymore. And the same thing happened to Arsene Wenger at Arsenal. People stopped going, and that's when they sacked him. Otherwise, that geezer would have fucking stayed there forever.
Yeah.
And that's why they pulled the trigger on this one. That's why they've got rid of him. So for me, I'm a little bit worried in that I don't really know the step these people are going to take. Like Kev said, the people that are pushing the buttons, I don't really trust them at the moment, if I'm being honest. They're meant to be custodians of this club, and I don't think they're fit for purpose at the moment. That's my issue. And we complain so much about Levy. I was one of them, I feel like these are Levy part 2. I don't think they're any different, if I'm being honest. It's the same people that have the money there. It's the same people pulling the strings at the top. I don't know. Where's all this investment? We said we have a proper injury crisis at Tottenham. Yeah, proper injury crisis. And you go out in January, don't buy anyone, and then sack the manager the first week after the window's closed. Explain that to me.
It's what it is. I didn't think they pulled the trigger on him because of the January transfer window. So you'd like to think, sacking a manager in the middle of a window is not ideal for anybody. But so they had us thinking, well, if they're not going to sack him, they're obviously going to back him. And they didn't do that either. And it's like, what did you expect to happen? I just feel like if he was never going to back him, then you've wasted months when you could have had him out the door earlier and you could have had someone in way earlier. We might not be in this shit.
But this is the systemic rot we have had in this club since the Pochettino last season. That season when bear in mind, we were on the cusp of winning titles at the high end. We were competing at the top of the league. Listen, we were never that close. Do you know what I mean? We were never like top and lost it, like Arsenal do every fucking year, and they will do again this year. It was more like we were nearly there. We just needed that investment. Get to the Champions League final, get to the Cup final, semi-finals. It was a regularity for like 7 years at Spurs. And we just needed that investment and like freshen up in the squad, and they didn't give it. And it's been systemic since then. You've got proven winners like Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte have come into the club. We've said it before on this show, boys, and they were not backed. And they've all said the same thing. It cannot be the managers. It cannot be. We've had every type of manager now. It cannot be just the managers. So there's that problem for me. Like the board at the top level, the lack of investment, the lack of or in my opinion, the focus on the footballing side of the business is not there. Yeah. And then who are the people below them? Your Johan Langs, these people, the sporting directors of football, the directors of football. What are they doing? Like, we've taken Vinay Ventakacham from Arsenal, he was an Arsenal chairman, Johan Lang from Aston Villa, and Thomas Frank from Brentford. All three of those teams are doing a lot better than fucking we are. So if them people won't work at them clubs, why the fuck are they at ours?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's something wrong at every step, and it all needs a massive overhaul, Lee. And I'll just finish on this point, right? Whoever comes in next has got a fucking tough job. Like, we need 3 wins from our last 12 games, and we will be safe. 3 wins. So that's a quarter of the games we got left. We need to win 3 of them. Fuck Champions League, whatever happens in that, it's a free hit. But we need to win 3 games. At the moment, I couldn't pick 3 games.
I mean, this is the thing I look at it is this. They've told us the same thing year after year. The managers have said the same thing in January. They've gone, well, yeah, we're active in the market. We're looking. They had this Vinay come out and say, yeah, look, we're really going for it in the summer. Said the same shit last year. Listen, they clearly have not bargained for what has happened now, and they are shitting themselves. They realised it couldn't go any further with Frank because it's so toxic. And they are now realising, fuck me, people are not coming. People are talking about what's happening with this club, and they're shitting themselves because they will not know how to finance this club if it is in the Championship, where we'd have to pay big wages and you can't charge 90 quid to go and watch fucking teams like Plymouth, Sheffield Wednesday, and all. You can't be doing that. So they are shitting themselves, and they don't know what to do. And this has been a long time coming. We sacked Pochettino because we felt that it was the manager that could get the biggest tune out of Kane, Ali, and all that. And if they would last in a peak altogether forever, didn't work that way. We never added to that team, and never added to that team. So then we go and get another manager. We think, oh, that's the way you do it. You go and get a manager, world-class manager in Conte. They're the ones who push the players over the edge. It's not necessarily that. You take Klopp or Pep and take them to manage Stoke. They're not necessarily going to win the championship. Don't work like that. That's not football. You know what I mean? Like that's why there's certain managers in the Football League who could do a fantastic job year after year with teams that have got nothing about them. But if you took a top manager there, they couldn't do shit. And this board have never got it. And they've always wanted success, but they wanted it on a pound land budget. And that's the problem. Yeah, they've spent money, but they've only spent money that they've either accrued or that they've allowed to go out because it's what they've made. They've never gone out of what they spend of their own money. And the only thing that they did do it with was the stadium, which they knew longer term was going to reap rewards. It's going to pay for itself in the long run. And if it doesn't, they'll sell it to somebody at massive, massive profit. And then boom, everyone's happy. And so now we're in a problem where they're like, what the fuck do we do? And that's the biggest thing about it in my eyes. But Matt, we've got you here, mate. Good to see you. What's your take on it all now, bruv? How are you seeing it?
Sorry, boys. Sorry, mate. Mate, I think we're a mess. I was listening to bits and bobs in the background type thing, but look, with regards to the two defeats, fully expected. I don't expect to beat Arsenal. I fully don't expect to beat Fulham away. I think we get a couple of players back for the Palace game, and I think we've got a good chance of beating Palace. Yeah, and that's when I think our next win comes. With regards to Frank being sacked, I feel like, look, I think Thomas Frank needed to be sacked. Yeah, not because of anything else. I think he's been very unlucky being at Tottenham. Yeah, I think he's a nice guy. I think he's tried to do the right thing, but injuries and players have let him down, and the board have let him down, and he's been very unlucky in that. So the results matter in football. No matter how many injuries you have, you get judged on your league performance. Yeah, Andrew was getting slated last season by a lot of our fan base as well, even though won Europa League and that was all done. But like Frank was getting slated now as well. I think the thing is with Frank, our fans couldn't take to Frank. Yeah, he wasn't that likable guy down at the lane. And I think if you're a likable guy, you get a bit more time. I think the only way from here is I am so set on Pochettino coming in the summer. Like I am, I can't see, and I don't want to see another manager at that club other than Pochettino. I really don't. I think we mugged Pochettino off massively. People always say, "Oh, you can't go back to your ex-bird," blah blah blah. We left him. We sacked him. Yeah, we abused him. We gave him full, like, neglected the team. We give him no money to spend. We abused him. He didn't abuse us.
I agree.
Yeah. He then
are you still talking about Pochettino, mate?
Hang on.
No, I agree with him.
He sounds right.
He then went to Chelsea, stalled that so long, hoping we would come in, but we didn't. Yeah, so he had no choice but to go Chelsea. People come out of a comment like, he's like, he said about Chelsea's a bigger club than Spurs. That's just him speaking facts. Like, you can't deny that. That's just facts. Yeah, and it's the truth. It might hurt, but it's the truth. I honestly don't want to see another manager at Spurs other than Pochettino.
Matt,
and that is the God's honest truth.
Let me just, I don't know if you heard it earlier, but I was saying that I think there's a massive risk of waiting around for him in terms of the lack of options we've got for an interim. And I'm not just talking about fucking bringing Steve Sedgley and fucking Mickey Hazard in as your fucking coaches until May. I'm talking about having the risk of going down a fucking weird nostalgia route everyone seems to have gone down today. Asking for ex-players to come in, like Ledley King and Robbie Keane, who's just been at Hungary, and Defoe, who's only been a coach. You're asking these players to come in with no experience and no real sort of managerial clout to come in at a point where it's not like we're safe and we can relax. Because if that's the case, anybody could come in and just keep it settled until Pochettino. But you have got a massive risk of this club being relegated if you bring someone like that in who don't get it right, just because you are waiting for Pochettino in the summer.
No.
I don't think it's wise to risk that. But I don't know what sort of top manager you're going to get to come in for 4 months. So the whole thing, I'm not saying I'm against. Well, I mean, I'm not on everyone's thing about Pochettino. I mean, he's got so bad recently. I think I might even just fucking forget about the Chelsea thing because he's been so fucking shit. But there's no guarantee he's going to be the answer. But I get it. I get the whole we're heartbroken as a club and we need. I get the love story of it. I honestly do. But if the timing was right and he was available now, I would say, well, do you know what? Anything's better than what we got. But if you're not having until the summer, I just think it's a massive risk of waiting around for him. I mean, where are you with that? Because I know how much you want Pochettino in.
Hey, listen, if we're gonna start bringing back ex-players, put them on the fucking pitch. Honestly,
I have to.
like the photo I have on the pitch, mate.
Where's Matt on what I just said? I just want to know where Matt is on that. What I just said.
Do you know what though, Kev? I think we were all like people screaming for Thomas Frank to be sacked in November, December. We knew there was no other manager out there, so we always knew there was going to be some sort of interim manager because there's no managers out there currently on the market for us to go.
But we wasn't 3 points off the drop at this point though.
No, I get that.
It's got serious.
Man United goal changed a lot yesterday. I felt like if Man United would have lost yesterday and it'd have been 3 points, I think we're proper in a crisis now. Yeah, where West Ham need us to lose another 2, but then win another 2 with our remaining games, and I still think Spurs will pick up points in this. Like I think we will beat Palace at home. We will get players returning. Liverpool away after that, we'll probably lose to them, but we'll start picking up points again. And I think we will be safe.
Yeah,
right?
but what I'm saying to you, who is in charge at this point for you?
Do you know what, Kev? I don't know the answer, but I feel like us fans need something, just to bring bums back on seats, because.
But Matt, what I'm saying, it's not just about putting bums on seats. It's about
but Kev, it is. No, but Kev,
we're in a relegation battle. It's about results only.
Let's say Harry Redknapp did come back, as an interim to the end of the season,
That's who I would choose, by the way.
It's a fan's favourite. No, Kev, listen to me. It's a fan's favourite. Fans then come in and the atmosphere lifts, Currently, right now, the fans and the players are down in the dumps. There is no way up. We can't see a way up at the minute. So we need one person who loves the club, who knows us, that just gives us a little boost. The atmosphere has to change at that club. And there isn't, De Zerbi isn't the man. He's going to clash with the ball continuously. It's another Conte situation. It's not going to work.
I think I can list you a couple of managers who I think if we got in now, we'd forget about the Pochettino thing. Whether they're unrealistic or not, Xabi Alonso is one of them. I don't know why.
Kev, he's going Liverpool all day long.
I'm just saying, but can we make the phone call and ask? Can we try? I'm just saying.
He ain't answered.
How do you know?
He probably sent him straight to voicemail. What's he coming to the Premier League to battle for relegation?
You know what? Let me say.
Let me hang on quickly before you go. I'm just saying. I think we could be a bit more. I mean, what about Jurgen Klopp?
Fucking hell, Kev.
He's not touching.
I'm just saying. Listen, I don't want to risk fucking getting Raw Fox back as a manager for the rest of the season.
No. How many red wines you had?
I've had no red wines.
Let me say.
I think a lot of the Spurs fan base. I think our brains are fucking absolutely fried from the shit we've had to endure, and I'm worried about our mental health. I swear to you, I am. When you're asking, Jermaine Defoe, 80-year-old Harry Redknapp to come back and get us out of a relegation fight, I think everyone's lost their fucking head. I'll say
where I am on it, and because I'm an advocate for something like that. Again, this team, you are not coaching this team to get better in the space of 3 or 4 weeks. The Carrick effect, he hasn't made that team better. He's not doing anything fancy with tactics. He's just letting them express themselves more. We need
he's changed formation, Lee.
Yeah, he's changed the formation, which everyone apart from Ruben Amorim knew was wrong. So that was why he lost his job. Because
did you say Michael Carrick? No.
No, I don't know.
Mark Henry.
Hey, he's a former Spurs player. Why not?
Maybe, but for me, I look at it and I go, right, the way that it has to go is that this team needs lifting. I feel that if someone goes in there who knows how to get players just to go and express themselves, and we will get the 3 or 4 wins that TJ was talking about. I don't think there'll be masses of change, and I don't think they're brought in to do that. But if we try and bring somebody in who tries to coach this set of players right now, when it's more about your morale, your enthusiasm, your will to win, and that is it's all about man management now for me to make this
So
work.
who are you getting in? Who are you getting in?
Yeah, Harry Redknapp. I'll get him in.
Mate, he's fucking 8 years old.
Mate, it doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter in the slightest.
We're in the Champions League. We're still in the Champions League as well.
So, boys, would you not take Tim Sherwood?
Yeah, the Champions League, Kev.
Yeah, I'm not even worried about any of that. I'm worried about.
Would you not take Tim Sherwood and interim? He done all right last time.
Tim Sherwood hasn't had a job in about fucking 15 years.
No, but Kev, look, we need someone that knows the fans and knows the club right now. That's what we need.
Right.
TJ,
can I interject here? Because I feel like we've got two polar opposites, and I feel like I need to be the voice of reason in it. We've got Kev wanting to win the Champions League with Klopp and Xabi Alonso.
I'm not saying win the Champions League.
And we've got you two fucking trying to get fucking Rule Fox to manage the club for a bit of nostalgia.
No one said Rule Fox.
Listen,
Redknapp is very different to Rule Fox.
Ramon Vega and Steve Perryman.
Steve Perryman. One game.
My Sunday team's doing all right. I'll throw myself. Listen, I'm telling you now, in this game of football, if we try and get players that are basic, I'm telling you now, these players are basic. These Tells, Odeberts, they're basic players. I don't know why we've got them.
Odebert's out for fucking, he's got ACL. Odebert's got his ACL, isn't he? So he's fucking
that's another one who's going to be on the shelf for ages. But they're basic players. What they do need is they just need to be felt like they're 10 foot tall. That's what they need at this moment. Someone, we're not going to go cavalier or someone who's probably going to be a bit like Ange and go for it. That's not what you need now. But you just need someone who's going to get them to express it. And if I'm being totally honest, if it's somebody that
would do that though, wouldn't he go out and tell them to go and to win games and score goals? And
he goes, but he was never he was never silly and suicidal at the back. I didn't ever see that. I mean, the positions he got us in, 4th, 5th, 4th. In 3 seasons.
When Redknapp was in charge, football was different. It's a different game then.
I appreciate that, but my point is now, that's what I'm saying. I personally, and this is just my view on it, I don't think this is a football coaching job, as in get on the training pitch. I think he's got Heitinga that can go and do that. Keep some of the setup that you've got there. What a manager needs to do is he needs to install a sense of fucking will to win in that team. Frank weren't showing that. He never looked like it. The guy. Would you be happy with Heitinga, Lee?
No.
I don't know enough about him. That's my problem.
It's the same. He's been part of the same setup. You need a different setup in there.
He's a coach, as far as I know. The thing is, and I am very well aware fucking Harry Redknapp's a 78-year-old man. I am very aware of that. But my point is, at the end of the day, even when he was managing us, he weren't doing the coaching. He weren't running the coaching sessions.
Jordan back with him.
Jordan back.
Not a few fucking players on the pitch.
These two are trying to get Spurs relegated and kill fucking Harry Redknapp. Honestly, what the fuck is going on here?
Mentality.
On Instagram. Right now, it's just getting Spurs out of the mud, and in the summer, we assess it. There is no permanent manager. Listen, there's no
You're only saying that because you want Pochettino back. You're only saying that because you want Pochettino back so much. That's why you're saying.
I do want Poch back. Yeah, I do.
And that's why you're saying let's just settle the waters and all that. We're in fucking relegation battle. You can't just settle the waters. We need to.
But then what I don't want personally for me, and I think this is where Spurs are criminal, right? Spurs always go and get the sort of in manager at the moment. If the Brighton guy was still doing half decent, it'd be on the name. The Bournemouth guy, he's doing all right. He's not doing that good. I'm going to be honest. He's not done that good. He's done decent things here and there, but he's not.
I agree. There's a certain profile, isn't there? There's a certain profile that people would like to go and get.
Yeah.
Is Pochettino that profile of a bit of a yes man in there?
Well, he seems so. He went along with it until he didn't, and then he was out the door. But I think for me, what I really liked about him was that one, he got it, and I think that's very important when whether we stay up, go down, we're in a stage now where we've really got to understand who we are and how we get back to being half of what we want to be. He gets that. I think he's fantastic with man management, and I think he's very good at coaching young talent. And I think as a club, we need to start installing that in. We're talking about this Luca Williams Barnett. That's one player. We, down the road, they're talking about this player, that player. They're always getting one off the conveyor belt, but we get told how good this academy is that we've got. So why aren't we seeing any of it? Why does every player go on loan? We've got 6 centre-backs. Everyone's going there scoring overhead kicks, doing this, doing that. We don't even know if the geezer Vuskovic, I'm reading, if he's going to come back. So what's the good in all this if we're not enhancing that? That's my problem.
I've got a geezer at my work, right? And he genuinely believes this. He's like, Spurs needs to just close the academy. He's like, just close it. It doesn't do anything for us.
That's
like,
the problem, isn't it? Yeah. And
it's an expense. He's like, it's an expense. He's like, just like Brentford don't have an academy, right? I think I'm right in saying Brentford don't have an academy. He's like, we should just do that. Just get rid of it. And do you know what? I listen to his argument, and I do sit there and think it's mental sometimes. I'm like, you can't, like, you want to be the person finding the talent before it's talent, do you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's logical. We're not bringing them through. Like, we're just not bringing them through.
And that's terrible. So that needs to change, and that needs to change from the top. And it needs then a manager who's going to want to give these players a chance.
Just out of curiosity, who is the under-23s manager?
I don't even know, bro. Let me have a look.
I don't know. But even that, the fact we don't know is like.
But you know what? I don't know.
Bring him through.
Bring him through.
Give him the job. Don't know his name.
Wayne Burnett is the head coach of the.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But these Xavi Alonso, look, brother, I would love.
Lee, I've got a left field alternative.
Go on.
Very left field.
Go on.
Bring Ange back till the end of the season.
Oh, no, I love fucking Ange. And did you see he's on the overlap?
We win the fucking Champions League at least.
It was by coincidence. He's on the overlap tomorrow. He was there in the studio this morning when they got announced that Frank left. He was the guest before that. I love Ange, but Ange is not the kind of guy for this right now. And that,
do you know what it is, Lee? I'm just in fear of the worst. I really am. And
of course.
I mean, I just think when names are being banded around, like some of the names we've heard today, I'm just like, do people really, like, are they in my boat of it? Where like I'm petrified of being relegated for so many different reasons, and I just think it's so serious what we're in, and yes, it is their fault at the top, and they should be fucking to blame for it as much as everyone else.
They need to go the most.
I think it's just the worry. The worry.
Yeah, I get it, bro. I get it. I totally.
So I feel like it needs to be right, whoever they're going to appoint. But I mean, just some of the names for me are just hilarious.
That's the thing, because we can't categorically say that there's one manager out there now that could come in now on a full-time basis and start to turn this around. That we know. De Zerbi's come out there, but he's a hothead, and him against this board, that's a recipe for disaster. If it ain't early doors, it's within a year, and I don't know if we need that, because then we're starting again. And so that's
it's funny though, because we have wanted that guy for the last sort of 2 or 3 jobs. We've been really keen on him, and but yeah, obviously I get what you're saying, but sometimes maybe the board need a Conte type or a De Zerbi type to maybe, sort of demand and go, no, we need to do this. I know the board would rather just fucking get rid of them than deal with the grief that we've seen. But something needs to change. At what point are they going to realise how much they have really messed up over the last couple of years? In
when they get relegated?
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said last week, sometimes I feel like the worst has to happen for change. But then I'm sitting here and I'm telling you, I'm petrified of going down. It's like I don't know which way to go with it. But all I know is it needs to be right, because we're at a crucial point. And if we do need to get them wins, we need to make sure we've got the right manager to get us them wins to stay up. But I just think when we come off this tonight, we'll sit there and think about what we spoke about, and to say the word relegation so much over the last few weeks, but it's really intensified tonight. I mean, it really is a fucking worry of where we are as a football club in all aspects. And yeah, like you said, shit show from top to bottom.
And that's the thing for me. And I'll keep going back to it. It's like if I've been in workplaces, I'm sure we all have, right? When morale's low, somebody who's at the top, your governor is not good enough and whatnot, and it reflects on you. Then all it takes is someone to come in. They may not even be the best, but they come in and they make you feel that little bit bigger, and you think, you know what, I'm going to fucking work a little bit harder. Do you know what? You put faith in me. I'm going to put faith in you. I seriously think this is that kind of job. I know there was a name that does get bounded around, and it's horrible that we do say it, but I'd like to put it out there to you. not my favourite, but a Big Sam type. A
Shut up,
troubleshooter.
Lee. We ain't in that mad of a mess.
Well,
Oh, fucking hang on a minute. Matty wants David Owls, but he's saying not fucking saying no to Big Sam.
no, but like,
I think I'd
Well,
rather
I'll
have
be
Matty,
honest, we don't have the
Matty
centre
go.
backs for Big Sam. We don't have the centre backs for Big Sam. We don't have them defenders that want to get their head on it. Mickey van der Ven gets shorter when he jumps. Ramiro will jump and headbutt someone and get sent off. Radu will jump and get stuck in the mud. Like we haven't got a centre back for a Big Sam.
Listen, if we start looking at this, because this is another thing that keeps coming up, and I can't stand this conversation about our Spurs a Big Six club. Yeah, if we start getting managers in like Big Sam, we are confirming that we are no longer a Big Six club.
well, at the moment we're not, are we? That's a scary.
Lee, we are a Big Six club. Like
It's
this
stature.
argument, I've had it with so many people. I've got a skeezer, he's a Millwall fan at work, and all he does is walk past my desk every fucking day and go, "Still a big club." I think, fuck off, honestly. And they could be coming up while we go down as well. That's the worst thing.
The reason I say it is because we're what? How many games left in the Premier League? 12?
12.
12. Right. I think for this moment now, everything, the preconceptions, all that just have to leave. And like we said, we can't be having nightmares about going down. So who is the best to come in? And is it somebody who grinds out ugly wins? Is it somebody who makes players feel 10 foot tall? Whoever it may be, I think it has to be these guys have got to make an appointment. I'll be honest, I don't think they have a fucking clue what they're doing. They just got so scared with Frank, and they're in the training ground and whatnot every day. They know what's going on. They know the moves. They know, and they tried to back this guy as long as they could, and they just couldn't do it anymore. I don't think
Errol's Martin Yole.
I'd fucking have Martin in a head.
Yeah, do you know what? You have that one.
I'd have Martin. How old is he? Martin Yole. He's 70. He's fucking
younger than Redknapp. So much younger than Redknapp.
We'll know. It'll probably be John Heitinga. Let's be honest. It'll probably be John Heitinga, and that's it. Like we'll know that's what it is.
Well, they're off all week, so
there's a few names, and there's no disrespect to them, but I just think there's a few names that if we bring them in, they're the wrong decision. I think Johnny Heitinga is one of them because I think he's part of the setup currently. You won't get what Lee's talking about, that like instant kind of reaction from the players and that.
You know what, though, to be fair, it did work with Yole, with Santini. It's the only time I've seen a number 2 take the job, because Santini didn't last very long. So you've got to think Heitinga hasn't been there that long.
No.
And Yole wasn't there
by November. He was in by November.
Who?
Yole, he got it.
Was Yole Santini's number 2?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, was he? Fucking hell, I didn't know that.
He was.
Yeah, I'm not normally a big fan of it, but I mean, because Heitinga hasn't been there that long, I can't tell you it's going to fail, but it doesn't excite me either, if I'm honest.
And you know the other one I think as well will be a bad choice, and I love him as well. So it's hard for me to say it, but I think Ryan Mason. I think that's another one that's quite high up on the list.
Can't get Ryan Mason in for this. He struggled
not again. I can't do a Mason trip again. Trip again.
That's what I mean. Like, as much as we love him as a Spurs boy, like I just don't think he's the right answer for this one.
Boys, against Arsenal, I just want to be hearing Harry Redknapp's Blue Army. Harry Redknapp's Blue Army.
I would take him for 12 games. 12 games.
I think it could happen. You know, they've convinced me, Kev.
Ring up.
I want to be in there singing it.
I think I went to Harry Redknapp's debut. Was it Arsenal's debut game?
No, it was against
4-4 at the Emirates.
No, Bolton. It was 2-0. Bolton. That was his second game. Bolton.
Second one.
Yeah, he came in on the Sunday. We sacked Ramos on the Saturday night. He was in by the Sunday because I went to the game.
Yeah, then we played Arsenal on the Wednesday or the Tuesday.
It was a Wednesday night game. Yeah.
Yeah.
4-4.
Well, I'll tell you what, mate. If you give me a 4-4 now, if I had Redknapp in charge, I'll fucking take it. I think.
And then he beat Liverpool. But this is what I'm saying. I just think it's much more about a morale management job now than it is winning ugly. Because I think the players are good enough to do what, all these injuries aside. I think we've got good enough players. They need to believe again.
Listen, boys.
What's Phil Nick doing these days?
Lee and Matt, I do think the Pochettino thing's on your brain. And
I'd agree. Yeah.
Swerving your thinking a bit, I think.
I don't want to see another manager there. I don't want to see another manager at Spurs.
But I don't know who else would come. That's what I'm saying.
No,
the reason he's in is because I look and I go, who else would come? And I've got to be honest, as much as I like what the guy at Bournemouth's doing or what the guy at Palace done, and they still say to me, okay, They're okay.
Do you know what, Lee? I think Glasner might be one to keep an eye on. You know, with his
Possibly.
contract running out.
That's the end of season job as well, though. That's the end of season. That's not.
I don't know. Why can't Spurs go and get him out? Ain't going to cost them fuck all,
He
is
ain't
it?
going to leave yet. He says no until the end of the season. If he wants to see the job out.
I mean, they're
He
losing
wants,
now.
he wants the
aren't they,
Liverpool
as we
job as
speak?
well, doesn't he? But he won't get that.
Does he?
I think so. He won't get that.
Well, boys, look, with Poch, like I am fully on Poch. Like I have always been since the day he got sacked. Like I've always wanted Poch. Like people say,
Oh,
he's
I love
last season, mate. We didn't neglect him, mate. We just left him to it. He created monsters in that team. Like the players that he created.
We don't
in
have
that
them
team.
anymore, Matt. We don't have them anymore. You don't have them players anymore.
What you telling me, Kev? You telling me he can't make a player out of Bergvall and stuff like that? Them players are there to be made.
Okay. Bergvall. Who else?
Archie Gray will be a good player under Poch.
Archie Gray's already all right, mate. Listen, that geezer's player of the fucking season for me.
Yeah,
Mate, we
true.
needed Ramiro, the bit of Argentinian in him. Do you know what I mean, mate? He's there.
Fucking love Poch, you lot. Fucking hell.
I love him. I want him bad. Daddy's got to come home. What did Vince McMahon say at the time? Daddy's coming home.
He's coming, mate. Look, I'll tell you what, right? Even if they announced tomorrow Heinzinger will be interim manager, but at the end of the season, Pochettino is taking over. Every game from then to the end of the season, there'll be a lift in that stadium because people will know what's happening.
But
Is that going to get you
there's always a
results, though,
positive.
Lee? Matt? Is that going to get you results? Is that going to get you results just
I
because everyone
think
knows
it will,
Pochettino's coming?
Kev, we need some sort of atmosphere in that stadium. Gary Neville laughs at us on Sky Sports. He said, I've never
It
known
ain't just
like
the
this.
atmosphere. We need the players to play better. At
No,
football.
but Kev, look at the old stadium. We had fucking awful teams, yeah? And the atmosphere, as soon as you went into a North London derby, the atmosphere lifted. Everything against Arsenal next week.
Do you know what? I agree. I do believe the derby is going to have a totally different atmosphere, no matter who's in charge. Because
No, it will. Everyone's issues with the club has to be left at the turnstiles. Yeah, it can't go into the stadium. So no matter what issues people have with the club, has to be left outside. Simple as that. In there, it's a North London derby. Simple as that. And we get behind the team no matter what.
I'll tell you what, though, lads. If Frank was still there for the Arsenal game, that fucking place would have stunk.
Oh, it'd be horrible. Horrible.
Fuck, you know.
There's always a positive as well. You know, if we did get to the championship, think about all the away grounds that you can tick off the list.
Yes.
We said this. Said this. I was
Liverpool
like, all them teams I've been looking to tick off and get done in the season.
Bristol is high on my list.
No. Listen, you know what? This is what I like about it. What we're doing now is what everyone who supports Spurs is doing now. We've all got different opinions, and I think everyone's valid. I think it's such a pivotal time. It's a scary time because
I don't trust me. I know Spurs fans sitting in a dark room right now, mate. They ain't sitting there talking about it, mate. They're in bed.
That's what I'm saying. Even worse, then. I mean, the fact that we can is brilliant because I'll be honest. I remember us in '98. And we had to go to Barnsley and we drew. And then after that, obviously, Klinsmann went and got the goals against Wimbledon and whatnot. I don't remember a time since then that it's this worrying. And not just that the form is sliding. It's not gone up, it's sliding. It's, bar the 2-2 with City. I mean,
you know, the thing is, Lee,
Wolves just got a draw. So we're bottom of the form table at the moment as well.
With that '98 team, Lee, we had some characters in there, and I think
we did.
Like Klinsmann, Ginola, and all that. Yeah. I think that's what. Yeah, at the moment, there's no characters there, is there? There's no flamboyancy with anybody. I think Simmons is probably what we've in that respect, but I mean the rest of them are not putting their fucking weight around him. At least when Ginola played and all that, some of the average players still put a shift in and
magic
provided it for him to do.
Xavi Simmons will be the next Steven Pienaar under Pochettino, mate. I'm telling you, mate, he'll be a baller.
Wrexham away, Sarah Pickles. I'll tell you who Sarah Pickles thinks should get the job. Care for manager. That's what she's saying.
That's one of Matt's groupies.
She's been watching my Championship Manager lives, definitely.
I'll tell you
Sarah Pickles, your assistant manager.
Let me see what I'm capable of doing, Kev.
She looks like she's eating an half-time pie.
Listen, put me in that dressing room. I'll lift the morale, mate. I tell you.
It's the morale. I mean, we're going to find out in the next couple of days. They've got to announce something tomorrow, haven't they, about what they do? I know the players are off all week. That was planned before Frank was sacked. They were getting up, I think, up until Monday. Next week, they're off.
Well,
They're
I
off the
think,
league.
you know, I think the 12-day break was a massive reason as well. I think for giving him the chop, because it obviously gives someone time to come in and get them together and get them training and all that. So, I mean, they've got a bit of time to prepare, but the quicker you get someone in, the more time you've got obviously to prepare for Arsenal and fucking prepare for whatever else you're going to fucking go through for the next 3 months. You know,
Robbie Keane is on this list though. I'm seeing.
Who's top? Who's top on? Hold on, let me have a look. Who's
Yep.
top on the next
Boys,
man?
we don't have time to experiment different philosophies and shit like that. We need to go out and just get points. None of this playing out from the back bullshit, mate. We need to just go get results.
one of the lads
Let's
on the group chat went to the game last night, and they said, was it Jake or Aaron? Said they spoke to Shay Given, and Shay Given said Robbie Keane's waiting for the call.
Of course, he was 100%. I don't know how he...
De Zerbi's favourite at the moment in the bookmakers.
Yeah, listen, boys, don't be surprised if we forget the Poch thing and we go and get someone full time.
I would take De Zerbi, but I think he's going to clash with the board. I think it's just going to clash with the board. It's going to be another Conte thing, and it's going to all end up
Why did he leave Marseille?
Huh?
Why has he left Marseille?
Oh, he just got pumped to fucking PSG over the weekend. That might not fucking.
I saw that. But like, is there other reasons? Like, is it he's fell out?
Well, he left Brighton because he didn't feel like they were backing him, right? Like, that's basically why he left. So I think there was something similar at Marseille. I think he just had a disagreement with the board. And
you know what, right? As an interim, having someone like De Zerbi to the end of the season, if he did take it just to the end of the season, he's the kind of man you want because he'll fight for every tackle on the touchline, which will go on to the fans and the players. Like, you kind of want someone so passionate.
He's not interim manager though, is he? He's not going to be an interim. He's not coming in to be interim, is he?
No,
if he comes in, he's coming in.
Now listen, if he comes in, he comes in. Like 100%. Obviously, I'll get behind no matter who's in charge. But I wouldn't mind De Zerbi. I just think I'm worried about him and the board clashing. That's it.
But listen, the biggest thing I will
can I throw one out there quickly?
Go on.
Gareth Southgate.
No.
I wouldn't put that past us, Kev. That's such a Spurs thing to do.
Do you know what?
Look out for that one.
Yeah, it's a different vibe for England. I think he was a good England manager. Club is going to be tough, but I think short term.
Again, he's not coming in to be interim.
Derby in fucking waistcoats.
What about Thomas Tuchel till the summer?
He wouldn't take it. Surely not. Not with the England job.
He's got his England.
Mate, not a championship.
Well, why can't he do both?
That's why I thought with Pochettino. Why couldn't? Because surely Poch ain't watching DC United and Orlando Pirates, whatever it is.
Imagine that, Lee. I've got to fly back to England now, like 9 hours, and then tomorrow morning I've got to fly back to Los Angeles.
He looks like he's with Tottenham people all the time. He's with Perriman. He was with someone the other week.
I'm telling you now, Pochettino's in Oddiston more than I am.
Exactly.
He's always around Aussie's gaff.
Exactly. Anyways, lads, it's been a pleasure. Look, we could talk all night on this because it's going to unravel. So there's a bit of a time before the Arsenal game. I'm sure we will be congregating as it comes to it, and when we know more about it, we don't know who it's going to be. Doesn't look like anyone really knows it.
Are we doing a preview? Are we doing a preview pod?
Yeah, let's talk. We'll sort something out.
100%, we have to. We do.
Yeah. Well, once we know where the management's going, let's get back on. Yeah.
When Harry Redknapp's in charge, we get back on.
Yeah, we get it. Well, the only reason he probably wouldn't do it is because he's got Cheltenham and he's got a big horse in Cheltenham. He's doing really well there.
Yeah, fuck me. If Redknapp could put as much passion into Spurs as he does with fucking horse racing, we might be all right.
Can he bring his dog as well? The millionaire dog. Remember him? With the tax letters.
Yeah. You know, it was what year was it? 2012. So it's 14 years ago today, that game when we smashed Newcastle. We thought we're going to fucking win the league. Remember, he just got off the court case. Battered him. We're falling up at half time. Absolutely.
Yeah, that England thing killed us though. He was going to go to England. And
he was going to do it. And he had Brendan Rodgers lined up as his number 2 there. Put it in his biography. Yeah.
What about
Brendan Rodgers doing?
What about Brendan Rodgers?
Yeah, fucking hell, that's not a bad shot.
Oh, do you know? Didn't he go somewhere in the Far East?
No, he's nowhere, is it?
Yeah.
I think he did.
He's over in Saudi.
Yeah, he's a Saudi manager. He's a Saudi manager. He's managing in Saudi.
Gary Doherty? What's he
Christian Gross? Aussie Ardiles?
Yeah, I bet he's still trying to use his fucking travel card.
David Peter Shreves, Doug Livermore. Fuck all these, like AVB. Go on, AV. I'll have AVB back.
I'll take AVB back now, man. I'll tell you.
Oh, I love AVB back.
Fuck AVB, mate. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
AVB, blow up.
AV Bell. Bailed him out. Anyway, lads, have a good one. We will congregate before the Arsenal game, and hopefully we're all in the know a little bit more, and we're all a little bit more relaxed. It's going to be a huge game now. It was already huge, but it's going to be huge, more than you could ever believe right now. So let's hope by the time that we get to it, it's going to be something we can really be excited and believe that we can get something from. But lads, all the best. Sleep well. No nightmares. It's going to be all right. We're going to be here. All right. This has been the Heart and Spurs Fans podcast. We'll see you next week. Listen, whatever happens, it's always about come on, you Spurs.